Hello. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Can you hear me? Can you see me? How do I look? How's the light? Camera's right there. Henry's bathing. Henry's preening. Hi, everyone. Oh, Hattie hears me talking. She's coming in. Hi. Hattie, you want to come up? Come on. Let's go. How is everyone doing? You're all saying how much you like doing this. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Let's see. I feel like my light is a little harsh. Hattie, come here. Do we like that better? Do we like that better? Oh. Oh no. Warm. I have this ring light that you can change it from. This is cool light, warm light, neutral. I like the warm. Do we like the warm? You know I can't stop playing with it. Hattie, come here. Hattie. All right. Well, she's busy. Hi everyone. How's everyone doing? Warm is nice. Did I change it? Guys. That's warm. All right. Since one of you expressed a preference, I'm going to go with it. Hi everyone. How are we doing? I'm back on my sofa, as you can see. It's 5 p.m. here. We had some internet issues when I was in the dining room yesterday, but I don't know if it was me or YouTube or whatever, but we went and did the Zoom like 15 minutes later and everything was fine. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a YouTube glitch yesterday. Loads clearer today. Yeah, I'm going to blame it on YouTube. That feels comfortable to me. So hi everyone. So I'm wearing a Butterick dress that I designed a few years ago. This is probably one of my favorite dresses that I did for Butterick, and I feel like it doesn't really get a lot of love. It looks like a Rita blouse, but this was a precursor to the Rita blouse, and it doesn't have elastic, it has bindings, which actually might be an interesting option for Rita now that we're not going to be able to get a lot of access to elastic anytime soon because people are using it to make masks, which is great. But we might want to try other options with the Rita blouse, like doing bindings like this. So it's a sort of peasant style top. And then it has this like midriff. And this is an overlay. Let me see if I can show you a little bit better. This is like an overlay. I feel like it's like very Sleeping Beauty overlay kind of thing. And you set these little eyelets into it and then lace it up. So these kind of flap open to the side, and then it's just a gathered skirt. So this dress, Erica's here. Erica, I know I saw your version of this dress. Wasn't it plaid or something? So this dress, one of the things I thought we could talk about in here was like inspiration. Oh my gosh, guys, hold on. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I was just looking at my hats across the room. This is a hat emergency. Look how cute this hat. Remember I was showing you this hat? Look how cute it is with this dress. I don't know if it's going to work with this hairstyle. Oh, it does kind of work with this hairstyle. Are we feeling this? Welcome back to Grey Gardens, everyone. Oh. How cute is this little hat with this dress? So the ties on this are like plaid and they're pink and orange. I feel like it's oh my God, I can just pose. Should we go back to posing? Oh, a little pose with a hat. One thing you can do with a hat is go like this. Put your little ballerina finger on there, hold it inward like this. Oh, you were just thinking about my hat. Guys, when I leave the house someday, I'm gonna wear this outfit. I'm gonna hold this. How cute is that? So that's fun. Okay, emergency preening, emergency posing. What was I talking about? Oh, my dress. Oh, so one of the things I thought could be fun was to talk about inspiration and where the inspiration for my patterns comes from. Because I have some patterns that have been very, very literal, um, like what's the right word? Recreations, I guess, of vintage garments. And this dress is one of them. But then I have other things that I have completely designed from scratch, obviously always with vintage in mind, like using inspiration sources to guide my designing. So I thought it could be interesting to talk about that. Mom, what is Grey Gardens? Oh my gosh. My mom doesn't know what Grey Gardens is. We have to watch it together sometimes. It's these two women who, so they were like distant relatives of the Kennedys, right? Or Jacqueline Kennedy. And it was a mother-daughter. And this could be us someday, Mom. A mother-daughter duo, and they lived in this sort of like dilapidated mansion on what I want to say Long Island, but that's not right. The Hamptons, right? In the Hamptons. Jackie O, yeah. So distant relatives of Jackie O, in the Hamptons in this like dilapidated mansion, and the two of them are like, there's some clear mental illness going on there, and they just kind of let this mansion become more and more run down, and it's just the two of them, and they don't have a lot of contact with the outside world, and they're both super eccentric. So it's actually a very sad documentary. It's a documentary. Did I say that? It's a documentary, but there's some really beautiful moments, and these two characters are so eccentric and lovable. So Little Edie is the daughter, and I feel a lot like Little Edie because she puts on shows, and like they both do a lot of preening and posing. Okay, that's my summary of Grey Gardens. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Drew Barrymore was in the film. I love some of the costumes in that. I prefer the documentary, I would say. The film was even sadder if possible. Like I couldn't take it. Whereas I feel like the documentary had a lot of joy to it and really captured like the personalities of these two women and their relationship. Anyway. So what was I saying? Inspiration. Inspiration. So I was talking about the inspiration for this dress. So this dress was actually, I was talking about my dress and designing patterns. Thank you, everyone. Whew. I went real blank there for a minute. Okay, so this dress was a very literal interpretation, recreation even, I would say, probably the most literal recreation of a vintage garment that I have ever done. Because I actually found a vintage garment. It was this style at a vintage market in New York City, and it was like in terrible shape. It was like this pink. It looked like it had been made out of like an old pink bed sheet, like many many moons ago, and it was all stained. And so I got it really really cheap. I think it was under $10. But I tried it on, and it was like this magic dress. Like it's very figure flattering, and I really like this little band and like what this does at the bust. And I actually took the dress apart. I don't usually do that, and I don't usually advocate for doing that because I like to keep vintage as intact as possible. But in this case, I felt like I could do more good by making a pattern from the dress very faithfully than I could sort of like leaving it in a closet and not wearing it. You know what I mean? So I took it apart and I made this pattern from that dress, and this became a butterick pattern. So this was many years ago, and this fabric was one of my designs for Joann's back when I still had fabric at Joann's. So anyway, that's just to say that some of my designs are very super literal like that. Like, you know, that's the only time I've ever taken a garment apart to recreate it. But some can be very literal, and then others, like I said, come like from up here with vintage sources as inspiration. Yeah, so this was a Joann's fabric, and it came in this really pretty blue and turquoise as well. Okay. So should we talk about my hair? Because this is the style that I'm like always trying to get on my own. I feel like today is the best I've ever done. So like twists on top of the head with a center part. And I have a lot of trouble with it. And you know what I did today? My hair has been, I didn't set my hair last night. I haven't brushed it all day. It's been up in a messy bun. And then just about 10 minutes ago, I didn't even comb it. I didn't brush it, guys. I just took it out of the bun. I parted it and then I did twists and pinned them up on each side. So maybe that's the key is like, oh, it's also, I haven't washed it in a week. I'm going to wash it tonight. So liking my hair a lot today. How's everyone doing? You like my makeup? Thank you. This eyeshadow is the Tartelette Toasted palette. These are really warm browns. Guys, I want to get back to what we were talking about with skin tones yesterday. Okay, so I feel like warm colors do actually look really good on me, like this warm brown and like sort of orange tones in eyeshadow look really good on me. And I feel like my skin has a yellow undertone, but I feel like I look good in winter colors, you know, like jewel tones and all of that. So do all of those things kind of contradict each other? Do people with warm undertones look good in cool colors? I don't know. Do you guys know? I don't know. It's just a question I have. I look like Vivian Lee. I've been getting a lot with the center part. Okay, hold on. I don't want to mess up my computer right now. Let's see. Yeah, you can still find the pattern for this dress. I feel like it's Butterick. I'm gonna guess the number. I'm gonna guess the number, and then one of you tell me if I'm right. B6322. I think that's right. Yeah, you can get it at Joann's. You can get it, well, not that Joann's is open right now, but you can get it on the Butterick website. I think we might have a few copies for sale on the Charm website, but don't quote me on that. Yeah. I'm probably neutral. They can wear everything. Thanks, Stephanie. You're probably neutral, leaning cool, so I can wear both. Okay. All right. All right. A lot of people are saying neutral. All right. The seasons method is a little outdated. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this yesterday, but I was a Girl Scout, and my mom, who's here today, Patty Sauer, she was our troop leader, and we went to get our colors done at Color Me Beautiful, which was a highlight for me, obviously. And yeah, I was told I was a winter and that I look good in jewel tones, and that when I got married, I love how they're telling like how old must I have been, Mom? Maybe 10. They were telling us what color wedding dresses we should wear. And they told me white, which yes, I feel like that's right. All right. I am wearing this exact dress. I was right about the number 6322. The obsession about telling little girls about their weddings. I know. Very funny. All right. You just ordered dose of colors for your lips. Yes. Oh, and you're about to order a journal. This is Gertie's Good Things Hour. I'll give you all my product recommendations. Yeah, I'm wearing Dose of Colors Kiss of Fire today. That's probably like my favorite red these days. I got the right number. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Okay. So, I don't have like a strict agenda today. But I I was thinking I have one little show and tell thing that I can show you, one thing I thought that might be fun going forward is to show you some of my vintage inspiration garments, and I have a lot. So there's one that I've been keeping kind of close. So the other thing that people ask me a lot about too is my closet, and I don't have one closet. My house is pretty small. It's like 900 square feet, and it's old. You know, it's almost 100 years old. So there's not like, it doesn't have these modern walk-in closets. So what I have is one small closet, probably about that wide, in my bedroom. I have a coat closet out here. I had another small closet in my second bedroom, but I sacrificed it to put in a huge tub in the bathroom because we had to knock out part of that wall. So I then put in a rolling clothing rack in that room. And then I also, okay, so there's stuff in my closet in my bedroom. There's dresses in my coat closet, like at the front door. There's dresses on the rolling rack in my second bedroom. And then I also have in my attic, which is not ideal because you really want to be storing things in climate controlled areas of your house. But I've just gotten a little past that at this point. So I also have racks made out of pipes, like installed in my attic. And that's where that's where overflow in the house goes. And then at my studio, I have two big, like industrial size rolling racks. So when people say like, can we have a closet tour? I'm like, first of all, we have to travel to 2 counties. We have to look in like 3 rooms of the house plus the attic, and there's no like one closet. So yeah, there's no one closet. That's all. That's just to say. So whenever someone says like, "Can I see this one thing?" I'm like, "Well, is that at the studio? Is it in the attic?" Yeah, there's just stuff in a lot of different places, and I've just accepted that this is my life. Because I don't like to really get rid of things that have been part of my work. So like things that were a sample for Butterick or for Charm Patterns, like I just don't really see myself ever getting rid of. I think of it as like an archive, I guess. All right. So let's see. I brought one dress today. So, but this is another theme that could go on for quite a while, is looking at vintage inspiration from my many closets. So this is a dress that has been just inspiring me a lot lately, and I've been thinking of ways to bring it to life in a modern way. This is a halter dress in a lime green. And let's see if it has a brand in here. It's a Mexican dress. It doesn't have a label. But one thing that I really love is tourist garments. And so anything from Mexico, I love Hawaiian tourist garments. I love things from the American Southwest. You see a lot of those patio sets and things like that. That would, the 40s and 50s was a time of like amazing advances in travel. So people were like, the tourists after World War II, especially, people were like becoming tourists like never before and experiencing other cultures like never before. So so that's just to say that people were bringing home garments that were souvenirs. All right, so that might even be a better way to say that, is souvenir garments. So this one is from Mexico, and Mexican garments from the 50s were almost always, well, the collectible ones or the tourist ones, the souvenir garments, were almost always hand painted circle skirts. So this is a full circle with a Greek key design on it with sequins. And this would have been hand painted. So I have another Mexican circle skirt that I would love to show you guys. But I couldn't find it. Who knows? It's probably in the attic. But Mexican circle skirts were known for their hand painting, for their sequin work, for their beading work. And there's some images online of the people who painted these skirts. And they had these big wooden wheels that they would put the skirt flat on. So a circle skirt would be great for this purpose because you can completely flatten it out in a circle. And then this would be like Wheel of Fortune. It's like Wheel of Fortune. You could rotate the wheel and then they would be sitting and hand painting and then just keep rotating around the skirt. So I think that's so cool. And one of the things that I want to do with the Patreon this summer, I don't want to talk too much about it because, I like to surprise you guys, but is to do recreations or show you how to create these effects on your own. And I wanted to talk a little bit about sort of how this was constructed. So full circle here. One of the things I really like about it too is that there's a lot of, I don't know if this is painting up here too, or if that is like yarn dyed into the fabric, but there's a lot of variation in the fabric. And then there's sequins, these little hand sewn sequins. They're clear all over the bodice, just sort of studded throughout, and they were sewn on one by one. You can see in the back here, these are the threads for the sequins. So just one by one. And then on the skirt, the sequins are green and they're sewn in lines to highlight the Greek key pattern. So very, very beautiful. One of the things I wanted to talk about too is the structure inside the bodice, because there is boning in here, but it's not nearly anywhere that I think what we would expect. There's not as much as I think you would expect. And also there's not as much inner structure. See, it's the halter part is lined. See, this is just a halter that you kind of have to put over your head like this, which I don't really like because after I've done my hair, I don't want to mess it up. But you have to put your head through like that. And then you can see the structure of this is very, very simple. It's not fully lined. The bodice isn't even fully lined. So there's exposed, or maybe it is. There's, okay, it is, but it's done in an odd way. So you can see there's this like gauzy cotton, white cotton in the halter and the back bodice. And then the front midriff looks to be underlined, I guess, in the self fabric from the dress. And the boning channels, okay, so there's bones. There's 3 in the front. So basically 2 here and 1 here. And then there's 1 bone on each back bodice. So I feel, and the channel is exposed here on top of the lining. So I don't know. I mean, I would probably try to simplify this construction a little bit more to get it a little bit cleaner on the inside. There's also a lot of hand. So I guess they got sick of sewing these sequins on one at a time and they decided they were just going to carry their threads right here. So you see these big long threads. But all of these sequins are hand sewn on the skirt. You can see right there. Can you see the lines of stitching like right there? So yeah, it's just interesting. I think we have different standards now for how things are finished. People often say, I think erroneously, that vintage garments were better finished than today's garments because I think that things were left unlined more often than we're used to now. Vintage garments, it's not very common to see a lining in a dress, for instance, because people wore slips, right? So you would wear a full slip, and that would be the barrier. I mean, think about like Mad Men and Betty Draper. You know, she would be wearing, if she took off a strapless dress, she would be wearing a strapless slip underneath it. You know, so they had a lot greater had a greater amount of choice when it came to foundation garments and slips. So there would be a slip between you and this boning channel, most likely, is what I think. But yeah, so yeah, and also yeah, I saw someone just mention you know, seam finishing too. Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of seam finishing in I don't know. I mean, in most vintage garments, because you know, this is before the age of overlocking too in every garment. So this is all raw right here. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting to think about. I think people now expect linings in store-bought clothing to the extent just people just didn't, you know, in this era. Okay, so any questions about the dress? Anything else I can show you about it? Question, can I have it? Jenny, you can try it on. Come over and try it on. We'll play dress up. How is the hem finished? The hem is a bias. Hold on. The hem is very confusing. I don't know what happened here, guys, but in the front, the hem is turned up and top stitched. And then in this small portion right here, it appears to be a bias binding. And then it goes back to a top stitched hem. Possible that there was an alteration on here. But that doesn't make a lot of sense because the painting finishes at the same place all the way around. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Let's see. No horsehair braid. Too close to the edge of the fabric, someone just said. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they made an error or something in the painting. Maybe they were just winging it, like we all do. Then zippers also. I feel like in this era you would see either metal zippers would be the most common. So this is a metal zipper, and this is a centered zipper, which is probably my least favorite zipper application, just because I feel like it gapes a lot. So as you guys know, I'm sure at this point, my lap zippers would be my favorite application method. Yeah. So that's today's show and tell. What do you guys think? Would you guys do painting on a skirt? Like, is that something that you would be interested in trying, or does that just sound too complicated? They could have put bias because of the fraying. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me that they would just put bias in a 2-foot long section of the hem and then the rest would be done in a different way. So you would love to try it? Yes. Yes, if he told you how. You want to paint? Oh, good. All right. I'm glad you guys are excited about this. I'd watch, but not do it. Randy's keeping it real. Okay, awesome. Everyone sounds scary. Okay, all right. Wow, okay. Everyone's responding. Oh, Marin, you could do it. Um, all right, everyone's in. Should we bother Henry? Henry, how are you doing? You're on camera. You're on live camera. Of course I'll tell you how to cover it with sequins. I'm not a monster. I wouldn't keep that info from you. Who's Henry named after? He's named after Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady and Pygmalion. So my last name is Hirsch, so he's Henry Higgins Hirsch. And Hattie is named after Hattie Carnegie, the fashion designer. So she's Hattie Carnegie Hirsch. But so let's see. When I got Henry, he was 6 months old, and his name was Caesar Anton. He was at a rescue in New York City at Union Square. I don't know, I can't remember if it's a Petco or what it is there, but that's where Henry was. And yeah, his name was Caesar Anton. He was such a funny little kitten. He was so cute. He was like a mama's boy from the start. And so yeah, he was renamed Henry Higgins. And Hattie, when I adopted her, she was 7 years old when I adopted her. So she was not a baby. She had quite a personality going already. And her name at the rescue was Snowflake, which I just find hilarious. She is not a snowflake at all. They also told me she was shy. She was like, she's very shy. It's going to take her a little while to get used to you. And I brought her home, and she was like the least shy dog. She was like, this is my house now. And she was like chasing Henry, and like, she just like took over. But yeah, I renamed her Hattie like immediately. And she's such a Hattie. She's just such a Hattie. Yeah. So those are my babies. Hattie must be in the bedroom now, but this is his new favorite spot. When am I going to wear my jumpsuit again, and why isn't that video on YouTube anymore? I'm not sure what video you mean, but I haven't taken any videos down from YouTube. Do you mean the Jane set jumpsuit? There are some Jane videos on YouTube. I haven't taken anything down. How did Henry react to Hattie? Well, he was terrified because she was chasing him around my old apartment. So he was terrified. And I actually had a few days where I thought it wasn't going to work out with Hattie because she was like violently going after him. She has like, she's a little queen. It's true. And when she sees a squirrel or something like that, it is like kill instinct for her. And she was reacting to Henry like with that squirrel chasing intensity. So I don't know if she just came in, she's like, oh, this place comes with a squirrel for me to chase for fun. And I was very upset because Henry, as you know, if you've been following my adventures over the past decade plus, you know that Henry has been my little baby, tiny little mama's boy. And I was just like, this isn't gonna work out. But she got used to him, and she stopped like reacting in that way to seeing him, but it took a while. And I decided I was going to give it a few weeks, at least a couple weeks, and just like try to see if we could get her to adapt. And she did. The problem is she's a little cranky towards him, and like she gets very territorial with him, and he just like loves her, like wants to be close to her. I've seen him like try to like touch her, and she wouldn't have it. She's a queen. Let's see. Everyone's talking about the Jane set. Let's see. Someone asked about making it for swimming. It's not really meant to be a swimsuit. It's meant to be made in stretch fabrics as like an outerwear garment. It doesn't have like it has shorts, but it doesn't have like, you know, I mean, I personally would want something closer to the body for swimming, or some sort of liner or something. And also the fabrics intended for the Jane set are like stretch wovens, so not swimsuit fabrics. Swimsuit fabrics are very spandexy, so it's not really intended for swimwear. All right. Any questions? How's everyone doing today? Hanging in there? I was working on some more cutting layouts today. I don't remember last week. It took me 5 days to get through some cutting layouts for a new charm pattern. And we're trying to release 2 at once in this next round. So I had to do the other ones, and I'm almost done, and I just started this morning. So that's kind of amazing. I made some really good progress on that. And yeah, we're getting a lot done with these 2 patterns, so that's great. I also wanted to say that the Zoom sewing circle last night went great. If any of you were there, let us know how you enjoyed it, but it was really fun. So I just set up as a meeting, and I thought we had 50 people in there. Melisha said she thought she saw 99 like total participants. So in any case, great attendance. It was just, if you haven't heard me talk about it yet, it was just, we opened up the first one just to the Patreon upper tiers to kind of do it as a controlled smaller group. And it went really, really well. I think, you guys were very patient. Melisha did an amazing job moderating. Thank you, Melisha. Because we're trying to keep it super organized by keeping everyone on mute unless you were talking. So Melisha was doing the work of muting and unmuting and making sure that it just went really smoothly. But yeah, it was a bit of a learning curve when we got in there, and I was like, oh my god, like it was so cute though. Like you can, like, you normally see people in a Zoom conference meeting. Everyone was at their sewing machines and their little pictures, and it was so cute. It was really, really fun. Laura, you were nervous when you were talking. Oh, yeah. And we did a little like round robin thing where people talked and shared what they were working on. And it was just really fun. And so it got me excited to do some more stuff with the Zoom, though probably not this week, maybe next week. I don't have any photos from it, but I'm just trying to kind of keep it casual, I guess. And it was really fun. You loved it. You thought I sounded like a butt. I thought you congratulated someone on your name pronunciation, Marin. You were great. You were all great. It was really fun, and yeah, I've been looking a little. I haven't had a ton of time since last night, but I've been looking a little bit more into Zoom webinars, which allow. Because the thing about Zoom is most plans, until you get up into the really expensive plans on Zoom, only allow you to have 100 meeting attendees or participants. But then you can do webinars, which allow you to have up to like 5,000 attendees who aren't necessarily like part of the meeting. So that might be an interesting way to open it up to more people, and just whoever, gets, I don't know, maybe it was really fun to connect with you all and see you all at your little machines and what you were making. And I got some work done on my bolero, so that was great. You can ticket a webinar through Eventbrite. That's interesting, Jenny. Yeah, there's a plant shop in my town that is doing seminars via Zoom now on things like repotting and like houseplants 101, stuff like that. So I could potentially do some more organized classes, you know, depending on how long this goes on. We could even look at that. There are a lot of possibilities. You were nervous, Melisha. You're so cute. Um, so, oh, the other thing I wanted to mention to you guys that happened today was that, you know, speaking of Melisha, I've been wanting to get her to join me for an Instagram live or something like that. So I've been, anytime I see someone doing a joint live on Instagram, I've been clicking on it. And I ended up in one last night between two drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race. It was Monique Hart and Jiggly Caliente just doing a joint live. And I was like, this is fun. And then this morning I clicked on one that was two two women business owners from the Sill. Do you guys follow the Sill? They're like a plant website, and then Wear Lively, which I guess is activewear or loungewear or something like that. But two owners of two, you know, successful businesses who are women, and sort of like talking to each other about what's going on now. And I was just so happy that I stumbled into this live, because one of the things they were talking about was sort of like the difference in how people are like interacting with their customer service team, and how everyone has been so understanding and like so super nice about delays. And they were talking about how like hoping that that sort of carries over, like after, fingers crossed, this is all over, you know, like will we have sort of like a new gentler attitude towards each other and towards e-commerce and towards customer service. And one of the things they were talking about too is like people are now getting used to shipping delays more, and so maybe will this sort of like decrease a little bit our culture of like Amazon Prime, which I am like as guilty of as anyone, like wanting it now. But are we going to get a little bit more used to shipping delays, and we'll sort of like reset what we expect of companies? And also they were talking about going, like they're both mothers of small children, and they were talking about like wanting to order new toys, you know, because everyone's at home, and they were ordering new toys, and they ordered directly from the Melissa and Doug website because Amazon is now delaying things that are non-essential. So they were talking about like now going directly to a business's website, which, you know, is better for a small business versus like, you know, losing a lot of your profits to Amazon or something like that. So I don't know. It just kind of made me feel really optimistic to hear them talk about like how some really positive things could potentially come out of this, and sort of like reset our ideas towards e-commerce. And also in terms of like innovation, you know, what are people going to be coming up with during this time to meet new needs? And I guess that's why I got so excited about doing Zoom yesterday, because I mentioned this to the group last night, but I felt like this, like before the virus, I was like thinking about ways that we could potentially hang out as a group, like way down the line, but it just seemed like so much work, and like I was too, like I just couldn't figure it out at the moment. And I was like, that'll be for later. And so now to be in this new environment where we're doing it like month 2 and connecting virtually and sewing together virtually, I like never would have expected it and never would have done it if it weren't for the current situation. So I mean, that's just really interesting. I mean, I personally feel like my inspiration levels have been a little bit down, because for me, like getting out of the house and going to the studio and interacting with like Melisha, I feel like all of that stuff feeds me a little bit more creatively. And I feel like I haven't had a ton of new ideas since I've been home, but that's okay. I don't need a ton of new ideas right now because we have so much stuff we're working on. But I am kind of interested to see if like that resets for me, because it's only been what, 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow that I've been home. So I don't know. I mean, will we just sort of like quiet down a little bit and like listen to ourselves and like kind of come up with new ideas? I don't know. It just made me feel really optimistic. So I thought I would pass that on. I don't know if you can find it still on Instagram, but like I said, it was the sill and the SILL, like a windowsill, went to a joint live with Wear Lively, which I feel like is a company I should know about, but I don't, because I don't really order activewear or loungewear. I will never hate on technology again. Yeah. So shipping delays have calmed everyone down a little bit. Oh, do we have a birthday today? Anicia. Is that how we say your name? Anicia. Happy birthday to you. Her birthday starts in 20 minutes. Happy birthday, my Aries babies. Good morning, Evie from New Zealand. Yeah, so I'm excited that we've been continuing our lives every day. I think this is a really fun way to connect with you all. I also like my light a lot right now. I didn't use my big light over here, so it's a little softer. What do you think? I've got my warm light. Preen break. Yeah, I've just really been enjoying connecting with you all every day, and also thinking about what we can do more on Zoom, and yeah, I don't know. Brave new world. Preen, preen, preen. Preen break. Another Casa de las Flores flower in my hair today. When will I do another Zoom? I think maybe next week. The lighting is great. Thanks, guys. Yeah, let's think maybe next week we could do maybe another on, I don't know. Let me think about that, Laura. The next thing that we have coming up, so tomorrow I'll be back here with another live, and then on Saturday, the live is going to be on Patreon, $7 tiers and up. That will be my makeup tutorial. So live makeup tutorial. I'm so excited. I have no idea how that's going to go, but I didn't know how my hair tutorial was going to go either, and I felt like it went well. So it'll be really fun. A Netflix party with a great, yeah, we were talking about that too, is like a watch party the other day. So I've been kind of looking at platforms where we can watch a movie together, and that would be really fun. I need to do a hair tutorial for this coiffure. Guess you know I can't speak French, guys. I try. I do my best. Yeah, this would be fun. Yeah, makeup is going to be really fun. I have to decide what eyeshadow look to do, because I have so many favorite ones now. This one's kind of fun. This is a simple one because I only use 2 colors of eyeshadow today. So do you guys want like more, should we keep it simple for this first one and just do like fewer colors, not go so crazy with the glitter and all that? The flowers are on 2 clips, 2 little alligator clips. Oh yeah, we're gonna do the eyeliner. It'll be really fun. Yeah, so Saturday is going to be great. Do you guys remember what time we're doing it? I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern. A soft look would be a great start. All right, why don't we do like this look for Saturday? Because this was really quick, or relatively quick. Probably like 15 minutes. More is more. Interested in the lashes? Yeah, so we'll do this whole look start to finish. Why don't we do that? It'll be really fun. Yeah, this coming Saturday, I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern, guys. Very excited. So that's on Patreon. So if you haven't joined us on Patreon yet, do that. That one is for the $7 level and above. So that's the Dorothy tier, and it's really fun. Let's see. Someone had a question about the new designs. Do I dress like this all the time? No, only when I turn on the camera and talk to you guys. Or when I leave the house, which isn't a lot lately. I've been, really just wearing sweatpants a lot lately, guys. I think it's fine. But I really love that you guys are, doing these, is getting me to put on something pretty and like feel like myself again. Let's see. Someone asked a question and I missed it. I always miss them though, guys. I'm sorry. Can I hint about when we can expect an announcement on new projects? What day is it today, guys? What year is it? Let's see. It's Thursday, March 26th. Sweatpants out. I thought about it today. I was like, maybe I'll just keep the sweatpants on. So let's see. Let's talk about what's coming up. Okay, so yet again, let me announce one more time that today is March 26th. So a week from yesterday is April 1st. That's exciting. So it's 2031 now. I mean, I don't know. It could be. So guys, on April 1st, I have some new fun things coming out. There will be a YouTube video that's just a really short, fun video. And then there will also be a new Patreon project that is something that I've heard from you all. So this is a smaller project, new Patreon project. It's an expansion for an existing pattern, and as well as a video with some techniques on Patreon. And then later in the month, I think we should be starting the pre-order. I'm hoping by the end of next week for the 2 new charm patterns. We're very, very close now. And then they would release like mid to late April. So that's going to be fun to be able to show you those photos. It's been 84 years. That's going to be fun to show you those photos. And then the other thing I want to say is later in the month, I have a long form YouTube tutorial coming out to coincide with one of those patterns, as well as a really fun long form Patreon video with downloads and techniques, embellishments, all sorts of fun stuff. So there's a lot going on next month. We've luckily filmed and like did all this stuff before I became a recluse, confined to my home. All right, everyone. I'm glad I make you smile. You guys make me smile too. It makes me happy to do this. So thank you. Time has no meaning anymore. All right, everyone. I am going to call it a night. I've decided I'm going to go for a walk because it's actually a really lovely day here in New York. It feels like spring. It's still light outside. It's 6 p.m. And I think that is, some of you guys have asked about my exercise routine. And right now I don't have one. So I'm trying to change that a little bit and go on some longer walks. And also I have some weights around here that I like to lift every now and then. It's been a good 6 months, but maybe I'll find them. Maybe I'll find them and do a little weightlifting. So I love you guys too. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you for joining me. This has been really fun. Maybe I'll find before tomorrow. So we'll be back here at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll find a couple more garments that I can show you tomorrow. So thank you all for joining. As always, I want you to stay healthy, I forgot my own tagline. Should I just do a circular wave? Stay healthy, stay safe, stay home and sew. And then you do a double circular wave. Melisha and I were practicing this yesterday. Goodbye. So you say goodbye, and then you wave your fingers and then also do a circular wave. So I want you all to be practicing that. Mwah. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, or day, or whatever it is, whatever year we're in. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.